Conventional political wisdom says not to read too much into by-elections, but a vote tomorrow in downtown Toronto could be one of the most politically consequential events of the year. Toronto's St. Paul's has been reliably red since 1993, owned by longtime cabinet minister Carolyn Bennett, who's now the ambassador to Denmark, leaving the seat open and hotly contested between Conservative candidate Don Stewart, who declined to do an interview with Global News, and Liberal Leslie Church, the former chief of staff to Chrystia Freeland, who's fighting an uphill battle.
There is a lot of frustration, and I think that sometimes it's directed at the federal government, at Mr. Trudeau.
That sentiment pushing the Prime Minister to the back of any pitch Church makes to voters. Just look at her lawn signs. Only a tiny Team Trudeau logo. A massive departure from elections past.
I've always liked Justin Trudeau and the Liberal Party, but I think he maybe has overstayed his welcome.
8 years, you have a Liberal government, then people get sick of the Liberal government, then you go to 8 Conservatives for 8 years, and there's sort of a balance there.
And with voters feeling like that, it would take an Edmonton Oilers-like comeback to keep the same 25% margin the Liberals won by in 2021. Over a dozen cabinet ministers have come to campaign for Church, and senior Liberals that have spoken to Global News say that's helped give the party confidence they'll hold the seat.
The terrorist entity of the IRGC.
That prediction aided by the recent announcement that the Iranian regime has been listed as a terrorist group, helpful in St. Paul's, as the riding has the 5th largest Jewish population in the country. But more traditional pocketbook issues are still top of mind.
We have about 60% of the households here are renters, which is high even for Toronto. And the cost of rent, the cost of housing is the #1 thing that you hear here across the riding.
If the Liberals do lose the riding, there will likely be private and public calls for the Prime Minister to quit. And even if they do win, but only by a small margin, watch for some Liberal MPs in traditional toss-up ridings to announce relatively soon that they won't run again, to avoid the stress of a likely losing campaign in what's likely to be a nasty general election. Mackenzie Gray, Global News, Ottawa.